Today we're visiting KitchenAid's state-of-the-art facility in Chicago. We have Ben Artist to show us refrigeration. What's new, Ben?
So here we have one of KitchenAid's newest side-by-side refrigerators. Now, this is where KitchenAid has done a great job of matching performance with design. Now, when we talk about performance, what we're really talking about in terms of refrigeration is freshness. How long can we keep that food fresh? Now, what we've done is put a new technology inside of this refrigerator called Preserva Food Care System. Now, the big story here is that we now have sequential dual evaporators. Well, what the heck does that mean? So there's a couple big benefits here. First one, we're no longer sharing air between the fresh food compartment and the freezer. So in terms of humidity control, that means we can control the fresh food and the freezer separately, both in terms of temperature and humidity levels. Now, in the fresh food, you really want higher humidity levels because that's where you have your vegetables and your fruits, right? You really want those nice and crispy and moist. Well, we've been able to achieve 75% relative humidity in the fresh food compartment, which is awesome. Now, that also means that we're able to get lower humidity levels in the freezer, and having that lower humidity level means we've got drier air, which means less freezer burn. So humidity control, fantastic in this freestanding. Now, in terms of odor transfer, the sequential dual evaporator, again, comes into handy here because we're no longer transferring that odor from the fresh food over into the freezer. Now, in terms of odor control in the fresh food compartment alone, we have Fresh Flow Air Filter. Now, this air filter is an active filter, which means we're pushing that air through this filter, filtering out a lot of those odors that you may have from maybe leftover food or any food that might have been in there a little bit too long. So you're not going to have those flavors transfer around within the fresh food compartment. Now, lastly, we want to talk about filtration in terms of the crisper and the ethylene gas a lot of those fruits and vegetables give off. Now, that ethylene gas normally allows those produce items to ripen over time, but we really don't want that ethylene gas in there because it's going to cause our fruits and vegetables to ripen too quickly. So this ethylene gas filter is going to help pull out a lot of that gas and extend the freshness up to 25%. Now, once we move over into design, we really want to point out the luminous interior. And what do I mean by that? We've got the LED lights here. You've also got the metal trims on the shelves, the crispers. You've got the satin gliding crispers, which are much easier to move out. And then you've got the metal trim on the door bins. Now, one other really neat thing about the door bins here, they're actually removable. So let's say we've got a bunch of condiments for a big barbecue we're having. We can take this one door bin out, place it there on the counter for everyone to use. Now, let's say it gets a little bit messy. Don't worry about it. It's dishwasher safe. So again, really taking into consideration all the different design aspects, both aesthetics and functionality. In conclusion, fantastic new freestanding refrigerator, and again, going back to that sequential dual evaporator, having that humidity control in a freestanding refrigerator like this is going to be huge for your customers in terms of keeping that food fresh longer.